to go ahead and dive into these questions. This week, I posed the question about mindset. I wanted to see if I could help in any way I could there with some people, and we're going to see what we got. Number 1. How do you deal with your mind when you are in a funk and feel like you can't do anything right? Yo, that happens. That happens a ton. Like, I am not immune to that. On those days, like I kind of describe those days as like, fuck, man, I'm just behind a little bit. It just feels like I can't quite get in front. I can't quite get to where I'm supposed to be. Like everything always takes a few extra steps, right? Like, so sure, I'm going to go make coffee, but in somehow making coffee, I also spilled the coffee bag and now there's shit everywhere. So now like everything I'm trying to do requires me 2 more jobs to get back to even. And I typically find that is like, okay, I'm off. There's a bit of a funk. So let's reset. So I will stop doing everything I'm trying to fucking do. And I will try to figure out if I have the ability right now to slow down and pick a couple jobs that I can't fuck up. Because me just staying busy for the sake of staying busy instead of accomplishing jobs efficiently isn't what I'm looking to do. So I want to be able to, lean into those type of things and get it done and build that momentum. Like, right, I could clean my house. I could clean the dishwasher. I could clean my closet up, like, pick up a handful of things, wash some clothes. I can do all of these things pretty consistently and get a good job. I can go to the gym and walk on the treadmill. That's a pretty low threshold for success. So what I try to do is try to get the momentum swinging back the other way by doing a few things right and then trying again. Some days it is just cut the fucking rope, call it a day, and don't make things worse. Like that's another one too, is don't bury yourself in bullshit just because you're behind. It's better to take the day, refocus, and then be back on top of it tomorrow consistently. Now, a lot of that comes because I work for me and I can do that. In a regular job, sometimes you just got to grind it out. And being in a funk, again, like a lot of that's mindset, and just look at that as the challenge that day, right? Like that's the challenge that you have to overcome. That's the problem solving. And the better you get at overcoming those shitty days, the more confident you become whenever you're in a funk that you know that you can override it. So that's a big shift there with the mindset. I hope that helps you. Another question. I don't know how that habit stands up against some snobby coffee. Hate or habit first? Any evolution, order, or reason? Thank you. That I think that's what you're saying, is that habit is good. Hate is priority number 1. 100%. That is the bread and butter. That is the business. That's the thing I'm passionate about. I love the coffee that we make with habit. But the business side of that, I'm slowly figuring out because it's a way different monster than what hate is. Hate requires a full amount of my attention. And I'm aware that habit would as well. But I only have 24 hours. And so I lay those into the ones that take priority. We make great coffee, and I plan on continuing to grow that business the best I can. And hopefully I can grow it in a way that allows me to bring on some talented people to help grow it as it reaches kind of a sustainable point. We're not too far from a point where I think we could actually start trying to figure out some help for the brand, but it's going to take a second. Or I'm going to have to figure out how to lean further into it, but we're going to try all those things. But hate is definitely the main driver.
Yep. We're going to figure it out though.
Yeah.
For hate.
Well, that's all we can do.
Well, yeah. I mean, it's just time. It's the only thing that's the only issue.
And so I think
it's not a lack for wanting to.
No. And I mean, I think where we're lacking with habit, right, is content.
Yeah.
It's just creating more content and media around it and things like that. How to brew coffee, we can make all those videos, and that's something that we could probably lean more into having like James and Tori help with and do stuff like that. But it's a matter of still of time.
Yep.
Do it. Jocko. I assume we're talking about Jocko Willink, and I dig it. I dig Jocko's whole mindset and gimmick and bit. I think he's a smart dude. I like a little bit more human in the people that I listen to. So like he or Goggins or any of that aren't totally my cup of tea because they're a little too high speed, low drag. I need some more dick and fart jokes in my life. But Jocko's a stud, dude. And I believe that there's a lot of truth in the like inspiration and motivation to do more comes from doing. So get started and be willing to just love the process. Like that's what everyone is about. Like nobody set out to do the things that we're doing. Like I didn't get into the Highland Games to become popular, to pivot into a apparel thing. Like I wanted to see how good I could be at a sport. And then somehow this other piece worked out. So I just keep trying.
So this is a person that said this?
Jocko. Well, so Jocko Willnick has a podcast. Has written a couple books. Like one is Extreme Ownership. Smart guy, does a bunch of he's a ex-Navy SEAL or former Navy SEAL and is just a tough fuck. He's a Brazilian jiu-jitsu black belt, and kind of his Instagram, if you follow it, like it's just a picture of his watch in the morning for the most part. And it's like a shitty, I think it's a G-Shock, so it's not shitty. It's just a watch and it's like 4:52 a.m. Let's go. Like now's the time. Like he's a tough fuck, man.
So did he steal Nike's just do it? Or
I'm going to go ahead and say...
Or did Nike do it first?
I'm going to say Nike had it first, but yeah, it's different. But I think it's more of
a... Yeah, I just really wanted to make that joke.
Yeah. Crazy concept he came up with, do it. I don't think anyone's ever just thought of that. Another question. Balancing the chill and the achiever. I don't think they're any different. Like they're both parts of the same coin. Like if I'm going to have the side of me that is full lunatic and fully on the gas and runs at 900 miles an hour, like I need to put good brakes on that race car too. And for me, figuring out like what, boom, down regulation, slow down. Like I don't need 3 or 4 hours to wind down. Like I can fucking shut it off. You know, for me, typically cannabis, at the end of the day, basement hang, beanbag, time with my lady, time with friends, those type of things. Like whenever I hit the brakes, I chill hard.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean,
I've also done a good job of making chilling out a solid part of my business.
Yeah, for sure.
So that's another nice part.
Yeah. I mean, yeah, weed definitely helps a lot. Mm-hmm. You can definitely, there's a certain amount that you can smoke that'll slow you down real quick.
That helps. And that helps too. And it also tends to just let me down regulate and kind of work through the day's mental stuff and bullshit and get it out of the way and look at it in a perspective of like, what could I do better going forward?
Yeah, that's actually super true. I didn't really think about it that way, but I do that all the time.
Yeah, you're definitely more introspective on weed.
Yeah. And like I do that all the time, but I never thought like, oh yeah, I guess I do like look through my day that way. So like at the end of the day.
Well,
so.
you know, anytime I hear people talk about like, oh, I try weed, but I get all this paranoia from it. I'm like, oh, there's probably something else going on you should address. Like, what's the paranoia about? Are you paranoid the cops are going to kick in your door? Like, yeah. I don't understand.
That was always, I think since just meeting you, that's been the biggest thing for me with understanding about just how anxiety is. Like it's not because of, it's because of something that's, you need to deal with. Not necessarily that it's something that's, I don't know, that's actually a problem,
Yeah. Well, and it very well could be the problem, but I still look at a lot of that, like that red flag, the anxiety that's the obstacle. Like that's where the challenge is. That's what's pointing me in the direction saying like, this is the thing that we need to address right now. This is what we need to sort out. And sometimes cannabis or mushrooms or any of that give me a better antenna.
Yeah.
To listen to it.
That it's not just something that you have to like work through unknowingly. It's something that there's a reason that it's there. That's how I was trying to phrase it. So
yeah.
Not that it's like some unknown reason. Like, I don't know why this is happening.
Yeah,
like,
I don't know why I'm anxious.
That's what I was trying to say. So oh, I don't know why. Like, but now being like, oh, well, there's probably a reason. Like,
yeah, are you afraid you're forgetting things? Are you not showing up on time to stuff? Are you concerned about? I don't know. I don't get paranoid.
Yeah, just not realizing that there's association. There's something that pairs with the anxiety. Like there's a reason that it's there, not just it's there because.
Now I'll get a little paranoia, right? Like I'll get concerned with how people are perceiving a thing we're doing.
Yeah. I mean, well, I think it can happen if you start, like, I think you can go down a rabbit hole for sure and start freaking yourself out a little bit.
For sure.
But you can pull out of it, you know?
You know, a lot of mine, like, I'll get anxiety, like, say, before the trip to the desert, like, just trying to make sure all those things line up.
Yeah.
A lot of moving parts. I love putting it all together, and I love finishing it, but there is a high level of stress in getting that done. And typically cannabis reminds me of like, hey, the job's not fucking done yet.
Yeah.
So I handle it then. But I do a pretty good job. Like I don't set stuff back. I don't do any of the things that generate anxiety in me anymore. Like not being prepared. I don't procrastinate. I don't put things off. I get things done as fast as I can. Mm-hmm. 'Cause that's the only way I remember to do them. Mm-hmm. How can I be helpful to my lady getting started into a healthier life? She is struggling. Full support. That's the number one, right? Like, and for you and your partner, like a lot of that is figuring out how to communicate with each other. Like, what is it that motivates that person? Do they need tough love? Do they need more support? Do they need you to go to the gym with them? Do they need any of these other type of things? The big thing here for sustainability on that is making sure it's autonomous. That they only, you know, if they only go to the gym because you go to the gym, that's going to be real tough. And you also, for me, I mean, luckily, you know, Bonnie likes to train with or without me or whatever. But man, some days like it's just enough for me to get my own shit together. Mm-hmm. I don't have it to pull you through your workout too. But also I operate where is if you don't want to be here, you don't fucking have to be here.
Yeah.
Ever. Mm-hmm. And so, you know, that type of mindset, like and it's not for everyone, but the way I look at things like that, right? Like, as I would say this to my partner, it's like, what do you want? Do you want to be healthier? If the answer is yes, here are the steps that we're going to do to get there. And they're pretty easy. We'll watch what we eat. We're going to exercise regularly. We'll go on walks. There's a lot of simple steps to make. Now, if your actions show me that you don't want that, I'm okay with believing you that you don't fucking care. It's fine by me. But we're not going to fucking live in the middle. I'm not doing that thing where you keep complaining about how you feel, how you look, what you wish you were doing. I wish I was healthier or all this. And then I'm going to fucking order cookies with you later that night. Like, I'm going to listen to your actions way more than the bullshit coming out of your mouth. And at some point I'll start telling you, yo, stop fucking lying to yourself. If it's not important to you, quit pretending it is. Because until it's actually important to you, you're not going to do it. That's like, no one operates that way. You're not going to just go train for the sake of, cause.
Yeah.
That's not enough. And so, I mean, that's how I deal with my, partner.
Yeah. I mean, I think, I think depending on the person or whatever, there'll probably be some growing pains at the start. Like, maybe it won't be the most consistent, but like it's constantly pushing towards that. As long as they're not just fucking, it's like going for a week and they stop for a month, and that's what happens every time with the conversation.
But also, like maybe it's worth having a conversation with your partner too, and being really fucking honest to say that I'm not attracted to someone who doesn't take care of themselves.
Which I think it's fair. If you're also not taking care of yourself, that's different.
100%.
That's different. But
100%.
I mean, I think it was like you're saying with the wasting your time thing, where it's just like, well, as long as, if I'm always on time, then I'm allowed to not be okay with other people like wasting my time. It's the same thing with the health thing. Like, if you're a fat piece of shit and you're like, why aren't you working out more? Like, to your partner, well, you aren't either.
Yeah, go fuck yourself.
Like, you're a piece of shit. So like, yeah. So,
so leading by example.
Yes.
Is fucking number one. And to the point that like, I don't need to mention it.
Yeah.
So if your shit's not tight, don't expect someone else to jump on board.
Yeah.
But if you're just trying to start this journey together, then do that together and make it a thing that you're sharing in. That you can spend this different quality time together, that you can disconnect and go for walks. But also, I mean, if your partner's not into being healthier and they're just going to continue to flounder through fucking life, maybe make a decision whether that person's for you or not. And just because they're not for you now doesn't mean they weren't. People change. That's the thing.
Yep. Which
is another fucking tough thing to say, but you can't make someone give a shit, dude. You can't.
Yep.
They have to decide that it matters to them. Now, a lot of people want things to matter to them, but they don't. Their actions prove that's not true. I mean, how many people piss and moan and talk about how much they really give a shit about freedom? A ton. Mm-hmm. Do I think most people believe that? No.
No.
I think most people aren't willing to do the things that it takes to actually enjoy that life. I think most people want to have fucking decisions made for them, want to have things handed to them, want an easier path.
Yep.
I want less resistance and less people in my fucking way.
Mm-hmm.
And because of that, I limit my exposure to people that would be in my way.
Yep.
How to shift into crush it mode. I'm awake. That's it. Why would I have another speed?
Yeah, I don't know.
Why would I have any other fucking speed if that's the route we're going?
I mean, I would say, are you like, I would say to question, like, if what you're doing is what you want to do, because if you're not like fully into it, you probably don't give a shit about it. Because I mean, if it's something you fully want to do, you're kind of in crush it mode all the time.
Yeah, I remember Rob said this. He's like, like crush it mode, right? Like that motivation for life. And I love the way he phrased it. He was talking about it and he's like, like on your first date with a really hot chick and things kind of seem like they're going the right way. Mm-hmm. Or maybe not first date, but whatever we want to say. Kind of seem like things are going the direction you'd like them to go.
Yeah.
And he says like that overwhelming, like that fucking boner, that life boner that comes from it, right? And he's like, yo, that's every day.
Yeah.
I have that for the things I want to accomplish.
Yeah.
I have this life boner for trying to do the things I want to do. Like switching to crush it mode for me is because I'm aware that I can do anything now. Like there's a hack to that once I'm aware that I can that there aren't rules in the way to stop me from accomplishing the goals I want to accomplish, which makes them obtainable. Now it's a matter of me figuring it out. So that puts all the responsibility on my plate of whether or not I get to where I'd like to go. With that, I better fucking get going because TikTok. And that's how I feel. I always feel that time is the issue. That time's the most valuable commodity, that it's fucking running out. And that there's so many rad, cool things I would love to do in my time on this planet before I'm dead. A lot of them are expensive. And a lot of them require more time. And so you just have to try to keep kicking more ass. Like I go from crush it mode to asleep.
Yeah.
Yeah. Or there's an idle. There's a dead-eyed idle that comes from enough high. But other than that, like I'm pretty wound up all day and pretty fired up. Like I'm rarely in a really negative place.
Yeah.
And I try to be because I'm fucking stoked on what we get to do.
Yeah.
Doesn't make it not challenging and not make it hard. I can still be bummed and stoked. Like, I don't know if there's a way to say that, right?
There's not. That's literally exactly what it is. Cause there's not like there's some days you're going to fucking hate the shit you have to do, but you have to do it for the thing that you're doing.
Yeah. It's
just
like,
not the fun part of it.
I hate the acute stress, right? That's like the big stress spike that comes from the photo shoot today or the film a thing or any of that.
Yeah.
But the chronic stress that comes from having the job for 7 years.
Yeah.
I fucking love.
Yeah.
I love the decision making. I love that it's different every week. I love that we have new challenges. I love that we have to fucking invent it all out of the ether. There's no game plan of a boss saying like, well, fourth quarter's coming up. We know we have X, Y, and Z ahead. Like, we don't fucking know.
Yeah. Yeah. It's fun to watch it work. Watch the machine just kind of go.
Just try and figure it out, dude. Going nuts as we can. Rebuilding confidence in yourself when you change or retire from the old you. Again, it's repetition, right? And like rebuilding it when you retire from the old you. Like that's kind of insinuating that none of the skills that you brought with you still apply. And I don't know what your old you is, but my old you, being a professional athlete, outside sales rep, all of those rules apply. The outside sales rep work still apply, like, because I can book meetings, I can set up appointments, I can get places on time, I can communicate with people. I do a really good job of following up. I stay pretty organized in that sense, and my memory serves pretty well. So I've got confidence that I know that I can do that. And then the training bit, I've always been confident in because I know that I can overcome and deal with the struggle, right? And so I just apply that both to whatever the new challenges are. That it's just sustainability and it's being willing to never fucking quit doing it. If you know that this is the path, progress is all that matters. And so I build confidence from exposure, from doing, from trying new things, from fucking things up and figuring out how to right the ship. Like, I get way more confidence from like, oh man, this didn't work, this didn't work, this didn't work. So we're trying new things and something works. That means, fuck yeah, we can figure it out. Like, that's the big confidence that comes. Post-surgery advice, I have a quick recovery on having a quick recovery mentally, not babying yourself. There's just too much there. Like, I don't know what your surgery is, but at some point, like, you need to be able to tolerate and figure out what your line is of pushing yourself so that adaptation is happening and you're making progress, but not pushing things so far into the red that you have setbacks. Like, there's a pretty fine line to follow there. And it also changes every day. So like, coming out of surgery and mentally not babying yourself, it's figuring out how to listen to your body more and trust your body as well, and saying like, that's enough for today. And the big stuff there too is like, it's a long game. Like, people fuck up recovery by trying really hard in the first couple weeks to get back to where they were. Like, there's some badge of fucking honor. Like, I get that time's of the essence. Yeah. But it's not going anywhere. Like, get healthy, recover, do the thing right the first time. How many people have multiple surgeries because they did rehab bad? I mean, I don't know that that's my problem, but I'm sure fucking here I am. Yeah. But you just can't, patience, I guess. If patience, being okay, you can't. Being patient. You can't baby yourself. The other side of that is a quick recovery. Like, there's so many things that you can do that don't have to do with the physical side of rehab and post-surgery. Like, get your fucking diet together. Are you eating the right stuff? Are you doing all the recovery modalities? Are you doing PT and being conscious of that? Are you sitting around saying, woe is me, and eating like a piece of shit? Like, that's not the answer. So if you're doing any of that stuff, like, get your shit together. This isn't a break. This isn't a fucking vacation that you took to have surgery. Yeah. So don't treat it like such. Yeah. Get off pain meds as soon as you can. I'm not saying don't use them. They're fucking great, valuable tools. Use them for what they're for. Get off of those as quickly as you can. Sort out swelling. Sort out inflammation. There's tons of jobs that can be done other than like, oh, I can't get in the gym and squat. Yeah. It's, need muscles. Yeah. Like, fucking pump the brakes, dummy. Yeah, diet, meditating, like... get your fucking head right. Like, this is a time to sort your house out. Yeah, like, maybe get a sleep schedule down, even though that might be tough because of pain or something. But, like, yeah, I think, like, there's just a bunch of, like, little life things I think you could definitely just work on simply because you can't physically do as much. Yeah. So, like, there's so much mental work that you can do all the time because your brain is a fucking crazy thing that doesn't make any sense most of the time. So, like, getting that under wraps, I think, is a big win for life. and the babying yourself thing's real. Like, yeah, I did it. I did it for 3 years, and I always would every so often go ahead and make that test of like, well, how are things now? And they were shitty. I was always willing to try again and be like, maybe they're better now. Nothing hurts. Oh, I'm incorrect. I'm hurt again for a week. No. It's all gone. And your money, it's gone. What else we got? I think, was that it? I don't know what this last question was. I think we had... Oh, is this... No, we should have a couple more than that, right? Oh, or is that all of them? That's the... Oh, yeah, I guess that was all of them. That's all of them. We did it. That was a quick one. Pretty quick stuff on mindset. Big picture stuff there, right? Is like, work on doing the things that build confidence and build progress in you. whether that's managing your diet, whether that's managing your time better, whether that's focusing on relationships that matter to you, whether, and a big portion of all of this that isn't talked about enough, it isn't so much the doing more, but do less of the bullshit that gets in your way. Do less staying up too late. Do less going out and fucking off with your friends. Do less going to do stressful shit. Like, yo, does your family stress you out? Fuck them. Start hanging out with them. You don't have to do that shit. Like, be aware. I mean, there may be consequences for all this, but if it's not for you, no one fucking has a right to your time. So, I mean, be aware of what's taking your energy and be guardful of it. Mindset is as much about protecting that and giving yourself as much ability to go forward successfully, creatively, positively as it can be. You know, eliminating your own bullshit and figuring out where your own missteps and weaknesses are. So I hope that helps. Thank you guys for listening to these Q&A episodes. We will continue to do these every so often. So I want to say thank you guys. Check out our sponsors. Leave us a 5-star review over on iTunes or Spotify. Also check out The Ready State. So if you're looking for help with recovering from injury, if you're looking for modality work for mobility and working on things, Kelly Starrett and his team at Mobility WOD have become this now new incredible business, The Ready State. At thereadystate.com, they have all these daily videos and content from Kelly and his other creators, like coaches like Diane Fu, to work on anything from weightlifting, powerlifting, to CrossFit, to general life, trying to be healthier for running, more outdoors activity. Kelly is one of my all-time adventure buddies, man. And I'm very, very excited to head to Africa with him in September for a rafting trip. There will be a lot of unknowns and a lot of stress.
Don't run into any hippos.
Try not to find a hippo, dude.
That's
I have no interest.
That's my only advice for you.
I'm
I don't
super
know what else to tell
good
you.
with only seeing hippos from a long way away.
Yeah, that's accurate.
Anyway, save yourself 10%. Go over to the Ready State. Use code UMSO, and you get 10% off of your subscription with them. You also get a 2-week free trial. So check out the content. I know that it's great. Kelly has helped me in a number of ways with rehab and keeping this machine moving, as well as helping my training, recovering, and anything to still be allowed to do the things I get to do, like running or lifting. So check out the Ready State. Check out our other sponsors, Hybrid Performance Method, Eat Right Foods, Habit Coffee, Caveman Coffee, onnit.com/Matt Vincent, and Stay Classy Meats. I think that probably covers it. Thank you guys. Spread hate. Always party.